What was the most innocent thing you've seen being used as a weapon? Children. Frozen bag of milk. It not only caused severe swelling, but aided in reducing that swelling afterwards. When I was 7 I yelled Pegasus use Star Blast attack and launched a Beyblade in someone's face. A knitting needle got stabbed through my sister's hand by me. I tied a knot in a piece of rope and beat the shit out of my boyfriend with it. Edit. Should probably mention it was consensual before people accuse me of domestic abuse. Lol. I've read somewhere that a woman stabbed her husband with a squirrel. Wasn't it in the Chronicles of Riddick where he used a teacup to take out some prison guards? I've used a door as a weapon once. Edit. It was still in the door frame. While my aunt is getting changed into a bathing suit years ago. 5-year-old cousin. I want to be like you. When I grow up I just don't want your body. Today, I saw my own son use a bicycle as a weapon. I'm a correction officer of several years. Believe me when I say everything and anything can be used or fashioned into a weapon, if one is committed enough. So to answer your question, the most innocent thing I've ever seen used as a weapon was cake and toothpaste. Our inmate in one of our shoe cells stocked up several pieces of cake and several tubes of toothpaste. He dried out the cake and rolled it into a spike, which he then took the toothpaste and applied several layers over the course of a couple days, thus hardening it enough to use as a weapon. As an unsuspecting officer was walking by, he called him over and told him he was suicidal. Standard procedure at my facility says that if someone is suicidal they must be removed from the cell and taken to the medical/OMH and evaluated. So as he was taken out of the cell he slipped the cuffs and stabbed the cake spike into the face of my fellow officer. The officer in question ended up with an ice cut next to his eye and a week off. A pair of safety scissors. Frozen lamb. Saw a woman swing her dog at another woman. A dildo. Edit. I used it in self-defense while arguing with a friend. I slapped him in the face with a skins for Ermini Okoro. The fight ended shortly after that. Keanu Reeves once used a book. Benny Hill, the 1970s comedian, once had a hit single about a duel between a milkman and a baker. It contained the line, "As the concrete hardened crust of a stale pork pie caught him in the eye, and Ernie bit the dust." Cauliflower rice. Ironing board. The sound was glorious, but then I ran for my life. Saw one infant stab his twin sister with a plastic spoon. I think he would have gouged her eyes out if the mom hadn't stepped in. I once saw Clive Owen kill a man with a carrot by stabbing it through the back of his mouth and out the other end. Then he turned to me and said, "You know we should do this, but in a movie." A magnifying glass was used by a kid to burn bugs in the sunlight. He'd hold it above the bug, with the magnified sun ray scorching the victim. Ari fucking Pernilo. Words. My brother used sharpened pencils to be Wolverine once. My sister ended up in the hospital because of it. Straws. A single piece of paper. They were waving it around and yelling at a give you paper cuts if you don't know at store. When I was in primary school, a classmate stabbed another classmate with a sharp pencil because he was bullying her. Everybody just sat watching in awe of how the pencil just stayed put in his hand. You can KO someone with an Xbox One controller. In a Thai refugee camp in 1985, a rebel soldier, dressed in rags and scared from war, walked up to a small group of children, unsheathed a large machete, and proceeded to peel with precision a pear to share with everyone. The blade was dinged up, like it had been struck multiple times on something blunt, and it was massive. Yet he somehow used it to delicately peel the pear and then split it all into segments. My brother threw a tomato, as in the tow truck from Cars, at me and it knocked out a tooth. My friends and I were walking around trick or treating and two of them got into a little bit of an argument, so he swung his bag of candy and gave him a nosebleed. Math folder. Mom got fed up when I couldn't figure out basic math. Never thought it would be my source of misery mentally and physically. I've been attacked with many items of food including courgettes, lemons, bananas and a really big pumpkin. When I was younger, we had an all-cousin sleepover, so it was probably 20-30 kids in this house. Anyways, we had a huge pillow fight. That shit was a war zone. Except instead of dead bodies, you had 15 or so kids lying on the ground crying because someone smacked them in the face with a hard ass pillow. A more serious thing was when my younger cousin had a birthday sleepover. I didn't really know the kids there as they were more of a family friend that we just called her daughter our cousin. So the adults basically left us to go somewhere I don't remember, but apparently one of the kids there, girl, had the tendency to go get knives every time something made her mad. I didn't find that out until one of these kids actually made her mad. Good news is we were able to stop her from getting the knives. Bad news is that poor kid that made her mad got smacked by a whole liter of soda. My sister stabbed me with a Dorito fragment once. Drew blood. Whenever my sister got mad, she started throwing chairs around. Now, can you think of anything more innocent than a bloody chair? Donut. No shit. We were on a raid of an encampment of our itinerant caravan world or so, and one of the coppers was attacked with a custard-filled donut. It was brutal. I don't like to talk about it. We put milk duds in a paintball gun when I was a kid and shot at our friends. Left some massive welds, but they are incredibly inaccurate. A marine showed me how to make a deadly weapon out of section of newspaper. Had a student try to hang another student with a shoelace, so that was cool. This will get buried, but I don't think I'll have a better place to post this. So I live in Israel. The funniest way a terrorist stabber was stopped was with a dildo. I'm not sure exactly how this lady used the dildo to stop him, because the news didn't know how to report on the event. They didn't want to use dildo, sexual device etc, so they had to be really creative with their wording. We figured out it was a dildo by context and from word to mouth. Made a sad situation funnier and therefore easier to live with. And then there was a pizza guy who stopped a terrorist from stabbing by frisbee flinging a pizza pie tray at the guy's head. Knocked him off his feet long enough to have the knife taken away and arrested. I once saw a 70-year-old woman on the bus with a rolling pin and another lady with a frying pan sticking out of her bag. A razor scooter. Two guys in my hometown got into a fight and a lady from the neighborhood was trying to break it up. One guy picked up a scooter and swung it at the other fellow, but missed and cleaved the lady in the head. She fell and died shortly after. My brother once threw a fish at his now ex-wife during an argument. They weren't right for each other. The fish took her in the gossip. I once saw a movie or something where this Asian karate policeman beat up another cop with a blackboard cleaning sponge to show he can use anything as a weapon. It was ridiculous even to me as a kid. Boil water. Throw it on person. A pool ball. It was in a bar fight. Dude grabbed it off the table and started knocking people the fuck out. The sound it made as it connected was something I won't forget. Why me, of course. A duster. No, literally saw it today. A kitty. I just threw the clawing thing. Turns out, she killed a bird a while after that. Not so innocent now. Huh. I got hit in the head with a piece of candy. My innocence was lost that day. Once my martial art instructor decked the shit out of his second in command with a Kermit Pelouch. Air conditioner. Saw in a Turkish drama a wife froze to death her husband using the air conditioner. A copy of Kung Fu Panda. Super Mario plush toy Yoshi. Donna at Ask. I can't pick between a frozen guitar or a Nintendo Zapper. It's odd. Me and my friends, at the time, were playing outside talking about video games etc. But then a kid, 12 or 13, hit my friend's little bro of his bike. A girl nearby got a frozen guitar, and my sister got my Nintendo Zapper, then ran up to him and swung and missed. And X200B. This was 3 years ago, and I'm not friends with them, sorry for the bad grammar. Several keys on a keyring are innocent and can be used in self-defense by putting them between your fingers and using them to scrape the other person's face. Then you get away. A key. I'm surprised no one mentioned tears. Saw 3 men in a bar get killed with a pencil. A fucking pencil. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. A hand sanitizer dispenser. Saw a bartender once who was sick of a rude customer embarrass the guy by bending him over one knee, pulling down his pants to expose her butt cheek and very aggressively spanked him with a plastic dustpan. That was a good day. When my cousin was around 2 years old, she got a hold of a feather dusters. It was one of those ones with the long extendable handle things. I was sitting right next to her when she takes it and swigs it at my face. The feathers hit my eyes and they stung for a while. Every time I see her, she is 7 now, I remember it, and I'm still salty. I'm part of a group where we regularly beat each other using fun noodles with a PVC pipe inside. So, yeah. Hair. You ever get hair whipped by a girl who knows how to use it properly? Feels like Passion of the Christ. A stall budget. Hashemi. A candle, a remote control. Anything can be a weapon if you try hard enough. Brendan Urie uses a potato once. One time I got hit on the head with old stale sub bread. A Gatorade bottle. Once it shattered my friend's glasses, even though he does things that could break them all the time. My brother often gets our cat angry and then throws him on me. My cat's cool though he knows it's him and doesn't use his claws on me. Blueberry muffin. I saw a kid throw a spoon at his brother and it actually stuck in his forehead. Just in the flesh, but it was still pretty impressive. Schools freak out anything remotely gun or knife shaped in school, but pencils and pens are very effective weapons, and you must always have one in class.